Okay, so let's have a look at this sample question for the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime, which some of you guys will be studying in like this following term for Module B. I believe the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime is the most common text that people study in Module B. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Or the Truman Show, between those two. Nonetheless, you may be studying the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime. So let's have a look at this question. The complexity of human relationships is central to the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime. To what extent do you agree with this statement? Okay, so just like we did for Module A, let's break down the concept, its prescribed focus, and the audience impact. So concept is a complexity and representation, which we know is a syllabus idea, right? How complex themes are represented, and that it's central to the text's successful portrayals. So that language and the complexity of the representation, so language, the complexity of the language being used, is central to this successful portrayal of the text. So language is central to the text. That's very Module B-like, and so therefore that is the obvious concept. The prescribed focus is it's getting you to focus on how human relationships are being represented and how that is central to the text. And then the audience impact is not specified, so you can come up with one. Sometimes you will have, and this kind of goes for all of your modules, sometimes you will have a really specific audience impact that you need to focus on. Other times, like in your question, other times the question is not specific about an audience impact and you can pick one. So here I've chosen to look at the universal message that encourages us to form meaningful connections with others. Okay, so kind of aligning very closely with the idea of textual integrity. Okay, so let's have a look at a sample introduction for Module B and look at what's good about it. So let's have a read of it together. Through studying the intricate construction of written language forms and features, we may understand the importance of human relationships in literature. Interactions between characters in a text are able to reveal the complex representations of the self and the self amongst others. Mark Haddon's novel, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, 2003, positions us to examine the values of family, honesty, and trust in maintaining positive relationships. In turn, readers may realize the universal appeal of the novel as it continues to encourage us to similarly form meaningful connections with the characters to a great extent. So, what makes this introduction a successful introduction? Firstly, concepts from the rubric are referenced and developed, okay? Just like we had in Module A. We are talking about language forms and features, talking about characters and the development of characters, complex representations, which we know representations is referring to the use of language and form, meaningful characters, that's all really about Module B, and Module B is focused on language. There is a focus on human relationships, which is established and enhanced with relevant Module B terminology, so the prescribed focus on human relationships is addressed and specified, okay? Then we have the hypothesis on the audience impact, who engage with the text over time. So in turn, readers may realize the universal appeal of the novel as it continues to encourage us to similarly form meaningful connections with the characters to a great extent. And themes are introduced. Okay, body paragraph 1 will be on family, body paragraph 2 on honesty, and body paragraph 3 on trust. So that's what an effective Module B introduction looks like. Okay. As you can see, the way you can kind of mark your own writing is very similar across the modules, except what we mean by concept will change, of course, between Module A to Module B and Common Mod, because it's tied to the rubric. And obviously we have a different rubric for each one of your modules. The focus obviously will not only change per module, but it will change per question because you're asked to focus on something different per question. You might not, you might come across a couple questions that ask for the same sort of thing, but generally it should change per question. Audience impact will change across the modules, and it will likely change across the question as well, especially if you get given a specific audience impact that you need to prove.